We're here with Oliver Stefani, the head of Skoda's design, and we've just seen the Kylaq. First of all, congratulations on the unveil. The car's looking fantastic, Oliver, and thank you for speaking to us.
It's a pleasure.
Oliver, the first question I have to ask you is, let's just start with the nose, because we met about a month or so ago at the Elrock unveil, and we saw the nose that carried the Skoda lettermark. And I think you were explaining that this would be the new sort of brand identity. For the Kylaq, for India, we have the lettermark on the rear, but you still have the Skoda logo on the front, the traditional round one. What was the thought behind that? Why this differentiation, on this?
Well, let me start on, first of all, with the whole front, yeah. So what we did also, when you know the Elrock, yeah, so you see also that the Kylaq is really connected to this one, yeah. So we see the grille, we see the nose, we see the bonnet and stuff like this, yeah. The lettering we have on the rear, yeah, and the lettering on the front, we were not doing on this car for the Kylaq. We are keeping the logo there because we want to have this family feeling in India, because the Kylaq has the logo, the Slavia has the logo, yeah. So the other cars, import cars, have the logo. So for these ones, we want to keep the family together, yeah. That's the one. In the next step, that probably, hopefully, we can reduce this or replace this also in the future with the lettering, because then also we want to have the same like in Europe.
Okay, so eventually as the cars go through their life cycle changes, you would align them more to the Europe.
This is what I would like to do as a designer.
Right. But yeah, you've got, I'm sure, marketing and customers who would also think otherwise. Great. So, also as a designer, you had to cut the length of this car. In terms of cutting down the length, down by 80, 85 mm, how do you decide with engineering where does that length come from? And, what are the sort of challenges in there, both from an engineering point of view and the styling?
In the beginning of the Kylaq, on the Kylaq project, we are working on proportion models. We always do proportion models with the design concept. And we saw immediately with this wheelbase and the overhang situation that this is not really nice proportion. Huh? Doing a sub 4 meter car is really challenging because most of the time is not as what you would like to do, yeah? So, but together with the engineers, we were thinking about to cut something off from the front, of course, yeah. And they found a couple of millimeters, yeah. I think it was 30 or something like this, yeah. And they put this and we put this on the back, and the car was already looking much better because we moved the proportions in a better relationship, yeah. So this was very important for the success of the Kylaq.
Right. So you're saying it's not just from the wheelbase. You've sort of moved things around from the front.
Okay, now the wheelbase stayed, yeah.
Right.
But the front overhang and the rear overhang will be a bit adjusted.
Got it. And, also in terms of style, we've just heard the price of the entry-level version at least, 7,89,000. Really competitive. It has undercut quite a few of its rivals, in fact, potentially all, I think. But is there anything from the design point of view that you had to do to also meet this cost target? We noticed some character lines like on the door, which you have with the Kylaq, the bigger brother, are missing here. Is that for a cost reason?
No, this is, I think, is more like a design. We want to, because also in our new philosophy, simplicity in the modern solid design language, simplicity plays a big role. So we would rather like to take lines off from the model, yeah, and or to put them on some areas like the shoulder that we have now on the rear, and this little blister, yeah, gives us the chance to roll in the sheet metal over the rear wheel much better. This is also expressing the boldness of the character. So luckily, I think we do not have to do so many things according to the stamping, stuff like this to sacrifice the design. It's more like we're really looking for the impression or expression that is really important for the market. And what we understand is this solid and bold appearance is most important for India, for this segment and for the market.
Right. And for, like you said, for India, is there some elements that you, let's say, had to have for this particular market in terms of aesthetics?
We're trying also to have a global design language. So also here in Europe, India, so wherever we sell our cars, because there is just one design for Skoda, there should be one understanding of the design language. We are in some areas, maybe we're a little more playful. You see the black claddings that we have on the side. We put a pattern on these ones,
Mm-hmm.
So to give this extra kick and to also to work with this grain plastic parts in a nicer way. So I think this is something that we learned here also, to look at these details and to give some proposals over on the car.
Right. So, yeah, I think I noticed that as well. You've kept sort of restrained lines, but you've sort of just embellished them a little bit here and there. And, also the roof rails, that was something that we saw on the car. You've kept that from a style point of view and like an SUV image, you want to give that. But this one, I think, is also their aesthetic roof rails, not functional like your other cars. So, how important was that to you to keep the roof rails? Could you also do away with it? Or?
No, I think this is some kind of detail, yeah, especially also for SUVs, yeah. And this is very important to have this, and you can easily change also a little bit the overall feeling of this car, yeah. So when you don't have the roof rails, the car looks smaller. When you have the roof rails, it looks higher because you have some. You look at these things, quite, and they're very obvious. And also it gives you can steer the character a little bit, yeah? So they're a little bit more rugged and a little bit more SUV-like, yeah? So I think the roof racks are quite important for the car.
Right. So clearly they had to stay, whether they were functional or not. Okay, yeah. Great. And Oliver, let's move, to the inside of the Kylaq. On the interiors, you have a lot. In fact, we just had a quick peek at it. You have a lot in common with also the bigger brother, your Kylaq. Were you sort of wanting as a designer to move maybe in a different direction, or was cost a consideration in keeping the interiors very similar?
No, I think also this is the same like in the exteriors. So you want to have some family feeling. We also have this, we always talk about symmetry in Skoda Indias, about democratic approach in the India. So to make this look really wide, because we are a practical, functional company, yeah? So that the basic ideas of this Indias are quite the same, yeah? But the execution is always a little bit different according to the class of the car, the size of the car, the purpose of the car, yeah? So, but in general, it should have this the same feeling. Again, family feeling, brand identity.
Right. So that sort of aligns with the global models. And I know maybe this question is probably still under consideration, but this is a very India-specific car, but you've kept it like a global design. So will we see this car going out to other markets?
Oh, that's not a question for a designer.
For a designer, I know.
So ask the marketing people, please.
Correct. Also, however, on the styling approach, when you began work on this car, was there sort of local input taken from India? Because a lot of global brands also now sort of have some very, I would say, advanced design or engineering centers in India. So what did Skoda, what did you do in terms of bringing, the India input into the development of this?
This personally for me is very, very important to have this Indian voice. Yeah? So I was talking about this, and we're doing a lot of effort to do so. By the way, so we sent people to India from designers from Czech Republic, national, not national, so all nationalities. And they went here for 3 weeks to work here and to see this, what is in the market. They would travel through India. We are having Indian designers working for us in Mladá Boleslav. So we're always gathering the people that are working in Mladá Boleslav, all the Indian people to come together and to explain them the car, to show the car. So we try to listen very carefully, and all the time. But unfortunately, we don't have a design studio here, but we're trying to incorporate this in this way so that we know what people are expecting, that we know what the market wants, And this is, I think, very important for the success of the car. And I think the car shows.
Right. No, it does. It is looking impressive. The color, I personally like it, the green. Oliver, just to pick up from where you just left off, where you said you don't have a design center here in India. Is that something you think you would like to have in India? Because I think, yes, like you said, the marketing and management just said that India is going to be the second pillar for Skoda as a brand outside of Europe, so it's a major market and you'll want to develop it. Do you want to see that also happen for design?
I mean, it would be always nice as a designer. It would be nice to have different places and the influence all the time, So I would like really to see this,
Great. Okay. And I know you're on a sort of very busy schedule today. So just the last question, Oliver, in terms of, I know designers hate this, but what is your one favorite element on this car?
That's very easy, It's the whole front. I think is quite nice. The bonnet is very cool. The integration from the day running light signature into the grille, the shiny ribs, the shiny grille. I think this is really nice. Looks very modern, and I'm very proud of this.
Great. Thanks, Oliver.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you.